Many offices will have office procedures in place to make sure that projects are undertaken in a controlled manner and that the correct level of person signs off and approves the work that's being done on behalf of the company. So here's a list of possible office procedures that might be at work in a typical organisation. So there's a change management process here, how information will be controlled in a company, how you will assess risk and opportunity, and so on and so forth, covering lots of other procedures here. Now, within ExcelWraps, we've come up with a system that can take these project types, if you like, and on this site we've set up 2 project types. We'll just have a quick look at those. We've got the full engineering change process here, which will require a number of tasks to be undertaken to deliver it. And I've also created a smaller set for minor engineering changes. You might not have to do quite so much work. But for the engineering change process, here are the list of activities that will have to be undertaken to deliver that change. So there's lots of tasks identified here. In fact, there's 34 tasks identified, and we've also identified who needs to do this work. So these tasks will be undertaken by the project team, the materials team, the finance team, and the engineering team, of course, will be involved in an engineering change process. So when I set up a project, I will say this is a test project. Obviously, we can upload some details of the test project. We can say here what vehicles the change is going to cover, and we're looking here at achieving a saving, and we're going to spend some money in order to achieve that saving. Here are the people in charge of the project, and what they have to do at the start of the project is go to this task creation tab here, and by creating instances, by instances we mean each task will be created that's associated with an engineering change. So when we have a look at that, this is what we've actually produced. So all those tasks now have been created, they've been assigned to a person, and they have a start and an end time. And so we're going to deliver this engineering change between May 2021 and September 2021. And we can go into each of those tasks individually, and we can there'll be a start and a deadline for those tasks, and we can, as work is completed, we can drop files into this thing here. Somebody will implement the task, somebody will check the task, and somebody will approve the task. And once that's finished, then that will then disappear off the Gantt chart because it's been done, and we will deliver the engineering change, making sure that every single task is completed and approved by the correct level of person. We can also do other things with certain tasks. For example, we can have special workflows that can be attached to this task. So here's an example of a special workflow to cover risk assessment. Now, the idea here is that everybody fills in, goes through the same process. So here we're looking at, this is a list of items that need to be considered when we're considering risks that have been introduced as a result of an engineering change. And I've just started to fill in this checklist here, but the risk of dynamic instability due to this engineering change is occasional and would only result in a minor injury anyway. So it's got a risk level of 3, and we conclude that it's acceptable. What's actually happening here is we're looking at this risk scoring process. We're looking at the likelihood of one of those risks actually happening, and then we're looking at the severity of what will happen in those scenarios that we're considering in the risk assessment. So this is a very long detailed list, but we know that every engineering change will consider each of these risks and assess them all, and in fact there's even a space at the bottom to invent other risks that haven't been thought about. But clearly we're driving to make sure that everybody goes through the same process, so that as a company we can say we deliver engineering change to this process, and you collect all the evidence of fulfilling that engineering change process safely and in a controlled manner.